today, because I know this is really right up your alley, and especially as we're talking about funding and the National Research Fund. We have Dr. Samuel Oyola, who is receiving 187 million shillings grant to predict disease outbreaks. This is from the Bill Gates Foundation. And I know from the budgetary allocation of this year, the Finance Bill 2026, I think things are looking up. I don't know what is the actual figure for the funding, but we've had educators really crying foul regarding research in this country and how it is short-handed with staff, underfunded.
Even before I comment, I think devolution is also very important to comment on. And the Kenya Kwanza administration has demonstrated a lot of commitment to devolution, unlike the previous administration. But there are a number of things that Kenyans need to know. One is that going into the future, the functions of devolution of devolved units might have to be increased. And when you talk of the German devolved system where it receives more money, then it means maybe there are more functions that are devolved in German system. For us, we've done the first phase with the functions within the schedule of the Constitution. But I think going into the future, we've appreciated that devolution is the best thing for this country, is the best thing that ever happened, and therefore we should prepare for more functions and roles of devolution. And as we do so, I hope the senators are putting in frameworks and infrastructure in place to ensure that there is zero tolerance to corruption and wastage, so that then as money goes to the counties, it can give value to the people. We can see the effect of the money in reduction of poverty and developing all regions of our country. Down to the research funding, if you look at the provision of our laws, is that we must have 2% of our GDP actually going into research. And the president was very emphatic on that one of restarting research programs within the country, and that there is almost a complete a PS in charge of research within the Ministry of Education, because then a country cannot develop if it is not informed by accurate data. It can't. And it has been demonstrated that Kenya has got the best educators in terms of, and even we drive the best research programs. KEMRI is one of the best institutions within the sub-Saharan Africa, and therefore Kenya is a good destination to be funded to engage in such certain programs. As you can see, one of our scholars is receiving millions of shillings to participate in prediction of diseases, and that prediction is not done by magic. It is done through empirical and scientific studies.
Yes.
So even as we talk of transforming the country and taking the country to the first world within the next 30 years, it is not going to be done through guesswork. It is going to be heavily supported by robust and rigorous quality research programs that is able to unpack quality data to inform all programs of government. And I think that is what the president has been very emphatic about, because we cannot be a country of guesswork, and we cannot be a country of disorder. And any development that makes sense and that leads to serious transformation is founded on quality research. I'm happy to see such funding and such program coming to Kenya. And I think from the budgetary program, the 2% of the GDP should not just be a number in the budget, but it should be actual money released for various research programs across the country. And we should get our universities back to participate effectively and rigorously in research activities, so that then such funding should be going to certain universities. I wish that funding was going to either KEMRI or an institution that we know is working thoroughly and rigorously in terms of medical research.
But in terms of highlighting also some of these researches that have been done and they're seminal, and you can actually pick out and point out and say this has been a good research that we've had. I struggle to recall any. Maybe from your own accurate appraisement, you can actually tell us.
Do you know, if you're a good reader and you have passion in tracking research work and research information, you will be surprised that there are a lot of publications.
Not about publications which are shelved in in our universities and our research centers. We are talking about research that informs also actionable interventions that we have, immediate actions that we see this is from a product of a research and has made a discernible difference in Kenya. Can you recall one? Because yes, we can't be dedicating all this money.
I don't think I can just isolate and pick one, but there's so many programs.
I'm just talking about one seminal one that we know.
Do you know that the vaccine for livestock that is produced in Kenya are actually invented by Kenyans, and they have worked empirically to improve the livestock industry in Kenya? So that then, if we get down, look at the vaccines that we produce, look at the research work that goes on in our agricultural research institution, look at the research work that goes on in Kemri. I remember one time we almost getting Cameron and the rest. That was progress towards the right direction.
Cameron with the HIV, yeah?
Of course, yeah. Those are very progressive, rigorous scientific work that very few developed countries.
Yeah, because I think Cameron is the last one that I can remember, yes.
You can also mention the Katumani. That maize breed that is highly resistant to insect infestation.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, when you look at maize breeding and plant breeding is very well done in Kenya. You have the composites, Katumani composite, Empu and whatnot, the hybrid seeds, and that we're able to have so many locally bred seeds for agricultural production in the country. We do it sufficiently as a country. We don't import seeds. We don't necessarily need to import seeds. So I think in terms of scientific research, Kenya is on top of things. We only need to twerk and move to the first world and be in Singapore.
Felicity,
I have an issue.
Yes,
I have an issue.